Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelts. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. I'm your teacher. Now, I have a question for you. How would you ask me, que esto es una pregunta muy común, ¿a qué te dedicas? ¿A qué te dedicas? Would you say, what are you doing? No, eso es qué haces ahora mismo en el momento. Por eso empleamos el presente continuo. What are you doing? Do you know the answer? It's what do you do? O, si queremos usar la larga, what do you do for a living? So the next time somebody asks you, you can say, I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, I'm an astronaut. Whatever you do, you can answer I'm a or I'm an. Just be careful, because I've heard a lot of people say, I'm teacher. And you know what I say? I'm Tarzan, right? Hay que poner el artículo. En inglés es I'm a teacher. Yo soy un profesor, no soy profesor. So be careful. And the question, what do you do? So the next time you meet somebody, you can ask them that question. It's a good conversation starter. What do you do? And then you can practice your answer. I'm a teacher. What do you do? What is your profession? Fill in the blank. All right, amigos, time for a challenge. I know you love challenges, and that's why I've always got a lot of challenges up my sleeve. En la manga. We say the same thing as you. All right, which one of these is correct? You're going to have 3 examples, and I don't want you to write anything. Later, take notes. First, I just want you to listen. But then after, when I tell you, estas no, estas sí, porque sí, that's when you take notes. Now, just pay attention, and I want to see if you know instinctively which one's right. Okay, A, he drove to work yesterday. He drove to work yesterday. Does that sound right to you? What about the second one? B. He's drove to work yesterday. He's drove to work yesterday. That's B. C. He's driven to work yesterday. He's driven to work yesterday. Does that sound right? Well, he's driven is correct. Eso es, él ha conducido. He's driven. He has, que se contrae y se convierte en he's. He's driven. ¿Qué pasa? Esto es el presente perfecto. And yesterday necesitamos el simple pasado. No podemos decir en inglés, he comido con él ayer. We would have to say, comí con él ayer. O hace un minuto, da igual, empleamos el simple pasado. So, el tiempo está escrito correcto, pero el tiempo verbal, el hecho de que ponemos yesterday al final de la C, hace que no sea correcto. ¿Cómo podemos corregir la C? He's driven to work a lot lately, últimamente, right? Or he's driven to work 4 times so far this week, right? La clave del presente perfecto es que sigue en vigor, que no cerramos ese tiempo o la acción. ¿Qué pasa? Yesterday, cerradísimo. Entonces tenemos que tirarnos por la segunda columna. So that would be A. He drove to work yesterday. He drove to work yesterday. In B, I added an extra S in there, which doesn't make sense. So every day I drive to work. Yesterday I drove to work, and lately I've driven to work. Good job.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme.
Hello and welcome to our homophones section. Once again, this is where we look at words that are a bit tricky. Words that my students often mispronounce. Yeah, words like sit and seat no suenan igual. Sit, sentarse. Seat, asiento. They don't sound the same. Let's take a look at today's words. First, I want to know if you're familiar with the words, right? Because we're going to discover new words. But then you've got a second part to this challenge. Not only are you familiar with the words, but do they sound exactly the same? We'll find out right now. The first word is what you do when you're driving. Manejar, guiar el coche. Okay? Manejar o guiar el coche. Okay? Now, the second word is a false friend. Es una de estas palabras que engañan. So, I have some coffee. Aquí tengo mi café. What am I doing? ¿Qué estoy haciendo ahora mismo? Removiéndolo. How do we say remuévelo in English? Do we say remove it? No. Remove es quitar, no es remover. So how do we say removerlo? S-T-I-R. Does that word sound like guiar, manejar? Let's take a look. The first word, guiar, manejar, he was steering the car. I told you to steer. Put your hands on the steering wheel. El volante is the wheel or the steering wheel. Muchas veces vemos en una empresa también, tienen un steering committee, un comité, un grupo que dirige la dirección de la empresa en los próximos años, meses, right? The steering committee. So the word is steer. It rhymes with ear. It rhymes with beer. It rhymes with fear. What about the second word? Si te digo, remueve el café. Stir. Stir the coffee, not steer the coffee. Eso sería guía el café. Stir the coffee, please. And remember, it's not remove, because remove es quitar. But also, there's an idiomatic expression that we use, and we say sometimes in life, you have to stir it up. And what does that mean? Well, that's not literal. It doesn't mean take your coffee or your tea and stir it, but it means you have to make changes. Hay que remover la cosa. You've got to stir it up. And in fact, it's a Bob Marley song. Do you know it? Little darling, stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Es que el pobre quería que le removieran el café y no lo hicieron. No, I'm kidding. In the song, he means remuévelo, haz cambios en la vida, stir it up, keep it fresh, like we do here on our English class.
You're joking.
Hello and welcome to the You're Joking section of the show, where we learn English with a little bit of humor. In fact, I don't think I've ever had an English class on TV, on a video conference, or in person where I wasn't cracking jokes. Yeah, you can say to tell a joke, but another way to say it is to crack a joke. So I'm going to crack a joke right now, and we'll see if you get the joke. What do you say? Fíjate, el you no digo you, digo ya, porque no es tan importante en la frase. What do you say to a frog who needs a ride? A frog, right? What do you say to a frog that needs a ride? And do you know what a ride is? Necesita que le lleven a algún sitio, right? Another way to say it is he needs a lift, right? In Spain, we have a taxi service que se llama Lyft. ¿Por qué? Because they give you a lift to your destination, tu destino, wherever you might be going. So what do you say to a frog who needs a ride? Hop in. You get it? Well, what do frogs do? Okay, you can say they jump, but not really. We don't use the word jump too much for frogs because son saltitos, no son como saltos, brincos. So in this case, we would say hop, right? Frogs hop. Bunnies hop. Toads hop. Do you know what a toad is? A toad is un sapo, right? So you've got frogs, you've got toads, and what they do is hop, hop, hop. Piénsalo, es que es onomatopeico, right? Hop, hop, hop. es un saltito. Now, hop is also a dance que hacían en los 50. The hop. ¿Por qué? Porque hacían saltitos, right? And we have an awesome idiomatic expression. Una expresión que a mí me encanta y es una forma de decir que algo está muy cerca, está al ladito. And so somebody will say, hey, Alberto, is there a pharmacy near here? ¿Hay una farmacia cerca de aquí? I say, oh, yeah, there's one on the corner. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. ¿Qué? A hop, skip, and a jump. Son 3 diferentes saltos. O sea, pegas 3 botes y estás ahí, would be the translation. Está al ladito. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. And the best way to practice this idiomatic expression? What is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from your house? The pharmacy, the train station? That's the best way to practice it. Remember, anytime you learn something here with me, put it into context. Put it into your context. Oh, and of course, hop in is what we say to somebody cuando decimos, súbete. Hey, hop in. I'll give you a ride. I'll give you a lift. Oh man, I am dreading the commute today. Do you know what a commute is? Well, to commute is desplazarse. So people who go to work every day or go to school by car, by train, by bus, they're called commuters, right? Porque se desplazan, gente que se desplaza. And one way of saying rush hour, hora punta, la hora de la prisa, rush hour, another way to say that is commuter hour, o sea, hora de los desplazamientos, right? We always know those are the busiest hours. Those are the hours of the day when you are likely to be in a traffic jam, right? The word jam is atasco, right? If something is jammed, está atascado. Por eso no nos quedamos solo con la palabra traffic jam, pero vamos más en profundidad. The printer is jammed. I think there's a piece of paper in the printer. It's jammed. And we also have another expression too. If you're in a jam, estás en un apuro. O sea, quitando la palabra traffic. I'm in a traffic jam, no me muevo de aquí. I'm in a jam, estoy en una situación precaria. I'm in a difficult situation here. I'm in a jam. And I don't know about you, but I think it's just like everybody loves ice cream. Everybody hates traffic, right? Do you know anybody who loves sitting in traffic? Do you know anybody who loves sitting at a red light? No, I don't think so. Do you know anybody who thinks that yellow means slow down instead of speed up? Porque yo siempre veo a la gente acelerar cuando se pone en amarillo. But I was taught that that means slow down. Buen vocabulario. To slow down, ralentizar. To speed up, ir más rápido. And speed is an irregular verb. Every day I speed up. Yesterday, te toca. Yesterday I sped up. And lately I've sped up. So it's speed, sped, sped. Well, the average person, no, average, dos sílabas. O sea, la palabra average rima con bridge, puente. So the average person spends 2 full weeks of their life waiting at red lights. Can you believe that? 2 weeks of our lives are spent looking at a light, looking at a traffic light and waiting for it to turn green. Now, don't be one of those people who jumps the light, because it's not just illegal, it's dangerous. And I can tell you a little joke as well. Another joke, you get 2 for 1 today. What is the most dangerous part of a car? La parte más peligrosa de un coche. The nut behind the wheel. Do you get it? Nut is loco, el loco detrás del volante. And the nut es la tuerca detrás del volante. You get it? The nut behind the wheel. So don't be a nut when you're driving, even if you're in traffic.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Double trouble.
Hello and welcome to our Double Trouble Challenge here on the show with no name, where we look at words with many, many meanings. And you know me, I am a word nerd. You know this one? Rima y todo. Word nerd, un friki de la palabra. I love playing with words. I love changing the lyrics of songs. Y cuidado con esa. We don't say the letter, la letra. We say the words or the lyrics of the song. And that's my specialty. Mi especialidad es cambiar la letra de las canciones. But it's a fun way to practice playing with words. And you know what? My daughter, who's 5 years old, she's following in my footsteps. Está haciendo lo mismito que su padre. So we've got another word nerd in the house. And we love it. We love it because we're constantly coming up with puns and jokes and plays on words. And let's see if you can get today's Double Trouble Challenge. Él tiene mucha motivación cuando conduce su coche. Okay, él tiene mucha motivación o está motivado, you could say it that way too, cuando conduce su coche. Y me vuelve loco. Toma, te lo he hecho en triple trouble. So, he has a lot of drive. Eso es. So drive es conducir, pero también es motivación. Do you have a lot of drive? Are you driven? Motivado. So you can say he has a lot of drive or he's driven when he drives his car. Cuando conduce su coche. Y me está volviendo loco. And he's driving me crazy. See, that word drive means so much more than just to drive someone crazy, to drive someone up a wall. Drive what you have, students, what you need. You need to be driven, motivados. So careful too with the word, because I've heard a lot of people make mistakes in the third column. They say, every day I drive, yesterday I drove, lately I've... ¿Has dicho driven o driven? La correcta es driven. All right, I know. I've driven you crazy with this verb by this point.
The totally native saying of the day. And it goes a little something like this.
Hi, and welcome to our totally native saying of the day. This is where you learn those idiomatic expressions that make you sound like us. So if you want to fit in, to fit in is ser uno del grupo. If you want to belong to our secret club, well, then you need to know our secret, our secret expressions we say, our secret handshakes. Well, we don't have secret handshakes like that kind of club, but we do have our own language that we use among each other. And when you start using it, that means you're a part of our club. So I know that, I'm taking some time to explain this to you, but don't worry, I'm going to step on it. What? Step on it? Step like pisar? Yeah. I'm going to step on it. You say the same thing. Písalo. Step on it. And what are we talking? What is the it in that sentence? The pedal. El pedal, ¿no? En el coche. Pisa el acelerador. Step on it, man. Spit it out. Come on, we don't have all day. And one of my favorite ones, porque este rima y todo, we're going to put the pedal to the metal. Pedal, el acelerador, al metal. O sea, hasta que no da más. We've got to put the pedal to the metal. We've got to step on it because in the next section, we're going to change gears. Tenemos otra expresión que tiene que ver con los coches. To change gears means cambiar de marcha. So we're going to put it in gear. To put it in gear, another expression that means arrancar. So rev your engines. Rev. Ladies and gentlemen, rev your engines. We're going to put the pedal to the metal. But don't let this drive you crazy, because remember, we probably use the word drive more with crazy than with a vehicle, a car, or a truck, or a van. A truck es un camión. Bueno, a no ser que seas británico, entonces it's a lorry. Yeah, lo llaman a lorry. Una furgoneta is a van. ¿Y un 4x4? We say an SUV. SUV. And what does SUV stand for? Oh, I thought you would never ask. Pensaba que nunca me lo ibas a preguntar. SUV stands for, hay que aprender este stands for, porque es cuando tenemos siglas, eso es lo que ponemos. So USA stands for United States of America. What does SUV stand for? SUV stands for Sport Utility Vehicle. Have you ever driven one of these? Oh, they're a lot of fun. I love driving SUVs, but I don't like being caught in traffic, as I said before, because we spend 2 weeks of our lives just at red lights. Never mind sitting on the highway. And by the way, the British, they don't call it. They say, I was driving my lorry on the motorway. I was driving my lorry on the motorway. Los americanos, I was driving my truck on the highway. See, guys, we speak the same language, but do we?
Lights, camera, action verbs.
Oh, man, my car keeps breaking down. Averiarse, you say? To break down. Yeah, well, I had to call a tow truck. Se lo llevaron con una grúa, and now it's in the shop. It's at the mechanics. It's in the shop. It stinks because I just got a tune-up. A tune-up es una revisión de estas que hacen cada tantos meses o kilómetros. We call it a tune-up, right? And that's where they check your air pressure in your tires. They check everything that, that after some months or some kilometers could go wrong. So a tune-up, as we call it. They're tuning up your car. They're changing the oil, taking a look at all those things that are really important. But did you know we also go for a tune-up, right? The only thing is we don't call it a tune-up. We call it, ¿cómo se dice revisión médica? Do you know this one? So you take your car for a tune-up and you make an appointment for your yearly checkup. Did you know it? Good job, good job. Which reminds me, I have to make an appointment for my yearly checkup too. Tune-ups, checkups. Oh, what a busy life.
Name that movie.
Hello and welcome to Name That Movie. Today we're going to take a look at something from Fast and Furious. Now please, 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 I beg you, don't say furious. It's not furious in English. It's furious. Say it with me. Say it aloud. Fast and Furious. And I think this is from part 27. No, I'm just kidding. But there are a lot of Fast and Furious movies. So many that I lost track. Perdí la cuenta. Hey, track es pista. That's another word related to cars. Let's take a look at the vocabulary from this movie. He says, the character Dominic, says, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Vivo mi vida un cuarto de milla a la vez. O sea, no me adelanto. And then he says, nothing else matters. No importa nada más. ¿Te suena de una canción? And nothing else matters. De Metallica. And then he says, not the mortgage, hipoteca, que gracia que empieza con la palabra mort, como muerte, pero se pronuncia mortgage, not the store, la tienda, not my team, ni mi equipo, and all their bull crap, todas sus tonterías. For those 10 seconds or less, para esos 10 segundos o menos, I'm free. Estoy libre. And he's talking about how he feels when he's driving his car and he puts the pedal to the metal.
It's time for the multiple choice challenge.
Hello and welcome to our multiple choice challenge. I'm going to give you 3 examples. Only one's correct. Let's see if you know which one it is. A, I think he has fever. A, I think he has fever. B, I think he has a fever, con artículo. B, I think he has a fever. Does that sound right? Well, I've got one more for you. C, I think he has feverish. C, I think he has feverish. I'll give you a clue. You give me fever, fever when you hold me tight. See you in the next show.